Santé coûte sans mi. Et puis je tiens moi ton journal. Là dans wap élaboré, ça va pas tant de moi.
Welcome in Basnick Show, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing very well.
Man, thank you, man, for playing that.
Oh, that was no problem.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Asnick Belizer and Basnick Show. Today we only have an English-speaking guest in the show today. So we're gonna move on and we're gonna have a good time. And you know, it's only in Basnick Show you will hear something like that. Okay, and this guy was playing, that was amazing, man. I love it, man. Keep it up, bro.
Thank you.
All right, so can you introduce yourself a little bit for the guests? So me, I know, of course, I know you, but a lot of fans doesn't know you. Just describe yourself a little bit.
Hello, everyone. My name is Malcolm Alexander. I am a resident of Fort Pierce, Florida. What do you want me to tell them? What do you want me to tell them?
Your age, you know, you already tell them. I think that's enough if you want to stop there.
Okay, I'm 32 years old and I'm a music major.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. And you already heard it. And you're going to hear more in this video to come. So are you in the market or are you off the market?
I'm off the market.
You're off the market?
Yes,
all right.
Yes,
so that means if somebody would have watching right now seeing you, they don't even need to waste their time.
No, you're barking up the wrong tree. I apologize. I'm a one-woman man. And I'm very happy.
Awesome. You already married?
Oh, yes.
You married?
Yes.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Alrighty, we're gonna keep moving on. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Ooh, 5 years from now. So I have a daughter. She's 6 years old. 5 years from now, she will be 11.
She'll be 11.
Yes, and by that time, hopefully, I will have my own house with a big yard, and I will have all the fruit trees that I ever wanted.
That's awesome. I mean, keep it simple, right?
Right.
I like that. So I know you're taking it and all, but it's part of the. I'm gonna ask you a question here. It's part of the show, but you still have to answer it. I forgot to tell you. There's 3 rules. You could say yes, no, or you could just say I'd rather not to answer.
Okay.
So those are the 3 rules. 3 rules, and you don't lie. If you don't want to answer, just I'd rather not to say. Okay.
Okay.
We're just trying to keep it simple and fun for everybody.
Exactly.
So what type of girl do you like? I got big, thick, or skinny?
It'll be in between the thick and the skinny.
Yeah?
Skinny, thick and skinny. Not too skinny. You know, I don't want a bony girl, but you know.
I got you. All right. What is the biggest make car do you want to drive?
The biggest car? It's just a 4-door car, just a regular 4-door car. I don't want any, no SUVs, not right now anyway.
No,
you know?
I'm saying Mark, like the biggest brand, you know?
Oh, what the biggest make of the brand?
Model, yeah.
Man, I like Hondas.
You like Hondas?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
That's my favorite. Like Hondas, Toyota, those are the best. To me, those are the best for the buck.
Okay.
And they get the job done, you know? They last forever.
Alrighty. All right. Have you ever put your hand on a woman before?
Never. Only in jiu-jitsu. You know, training
Jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu training.
Yeah, you do that too, right?
Yeah.
So do you still doing that?
Oh yes, I had practice last night, man. I'm exhausted. Oh,
that's awesome. Well, thank you again for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. So we're gonna keep moving. One thing that's keep you up at night. What is it?
One thing that keeps me up at night is, oh man, like really. I think about like how this world is changing, and you know, like when I was young, I was always wondering why my mom wouldn't let me do certain things. You know, she wouldn't allow me to go to parties. She wouldn't allow me to roam too far away from the house. Certain things, you know, she wouldn't allow for me and my brother to do. Mm-hmm. And you know, we used to get upset with her. You know, oh Ma, you know, I want to go to this party. I want to go hang out with my friends. I want to do this. I want to do that. But now I see what it's like. I see what this world is like. Yeah. And the biggest thing that keeps me up at night is thinking about my daughter. Like, what kind of world am I going to bring her up in? What kind of world I am bringing up in? And the thing I guess I realize is that I cannot change the world. Maybe I can't change the world, but maybe I can change my daughter's perspective, or I can shape her perspective on the world. I can shape to mold her to not be so easily offended by others. Yeah. I can teach her to think about other ways to handle certain situations.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You know, some people may get mad at certain situations. Exactly. They may get mad and blow up and, you know, say certain things that they don't mean. But
it's however you respond or your reaction.
Yeah, their reaction to it. Exactly. Teach her how to respond to certain situations. Exactly. I feel like when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You know.
I like that. I like that. When life gives you lemon, you make lemonade.
Because only you can determine your mindset, your outcome. Exactly. If you come yelling at me, it's up to me to decide if I'm going to get angry or not.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Because we easily let people let us to drive us to do what we don't want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We're emotional.
Exactly. Sometimes we're too emotional, but we have to be able to maintain our composure and don't let people drive you to that insanity that they're trying to get you into, because you know what I'm saying? That's exactly how you're
right. You're 100% correct.
You know? No, you're absolutely right, because your mind is easily to be manipulated by other things or what people say, what they do. But it is up to you to give the people that trying to get into you that power and to get you in that stage. All right. Since we're on that topic, I wanna my next question for you is, what is your opinion on what's going on right now? Whether it's the elections that coming up or the racial, everything that's hot right now.
Everything that's hot right now. So all right, everything hot right now.
You know, we have discrimination and race.
My thing is, I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like, there's so much. I may even contradict myself. I don't know, but I'll speak. So my main thing is, all right, there's racial tension that's going on. There's always been racial tension. There've always been police killing. There's always been people killing people of, you know, because of whatever reason, because they are prejudiced of them, right? I don't like to say racist, because racist is like a system. It's a whole system. Yeah. To me, it's the race to the resources. It's, you know, I have the resources, but I'm not going to allow you to have them. That is what I call racist. Yeah. Prejudice, on the other hand, is, oh, you look like this, and I don't like you because you look that way. But that's not affecting my pockets. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, you're not affecting my pockets because you're racist towards me. I don't, because you're prejudiced towards me. Like, you're not hurting me. You're just hurting yourself. Yep. And
well, I like the way you put it, and that's smart. Because sometimes people we don't divide, we don't find the true meaning of it, and sometimes we took everything like somebody says something, you let it just back to what we were saying earlier. You just let it get into you, but sometimes it's not even that. You got to make sure, am I on the right path to my, you know, to where I want to be, or am I gonna let somebody's mindset or the way that they see me affect my you know, my packet, or you know, go on.
And so like I feel like it's being more, it's how you want to say it? It's more prevalent. You can see it more because we have social media now. Exactly. Everyone has a phone on their camera. You know what I mean? And you can shoot, you can go live, you can do whatever, you know? Yeah. Boom, it's right there, it's right there. Even if it's not, even if they are pulling the wool over your eyes, so to speak, it may be, I started a fight with you. But they only saw that you beating me up. Exactly. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, why is Ashley beating up that guy? Why is Ashley beating up that guy? But you have no idea what happened in the beginning, you know? Yeah. So like certain things, you know, I feel like they're baiting you on. So when I do watch things, I take them for a grain of salt. You know, not all the time I take it for what it is. You know, sometimes you know what it is, you know, and there's no hiding that. But some, you know, everything you have to take it with a grain of salt. But as far as like these protests and things going on, like the protests, I feel like are okay. What is a protest? To me, a protest is something that goes out of the normal, out of the ordinary. If for example, I don't know what's going on right now. They're showing a lot of racial discrimination, right? You seeing it everywhere on social media. So the protests in this case are, let's say the rioters, right? Let's say the rioters, right? Rioting is a form of protest, right? Yeah. Basically anything.
Sometimes when people don't want to hear you, you have to.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, you can sit there and bet, like, oh, okay. Example, a bad child, right? Yeah. For example, a bad child. A child that is bad may not be getting the attention at home that his other siblings are getting, right? Yeah. Maybe he calls out for his mom. He reaches out for his mom. He calls for help. You know, his mom doesn't hear, or the father doesn't hear. You know, and like it may be in subtle ways, like, you know, oh, I'm hungry, or maybe just anything just to cry for attention. You know, and they don't hear it. So what the child resorts to? Resorts to being bad. Like they want some kind of attention. They want someone to laugh at them. They want somebody to, hey, what are you doing?
Trying to get that attention that they're looking for. And sometimes it might end up to that child breaking something at the house.
Exactly.
Now you will see the dad or the mom start reacting to that child, and then it's just because it's the same as the riot. You're absolutely right.
And that's what, you know, I had to break it down to a friend like that because he was like, you know, and this, you and I both know this guy. I ain't gonna say his name, but you and I both know him. And he's a white guy. But he's definitely in tune in what's going on with the world. He's in tune with everyone. You know, he's in tune with everyone. Yeah. And his question to me was like, you know, he don't understand the rioters. He's like, you know, just because he was like the kid at home, just because you can't have your way at home. It's like 8 of y'all. Says 8 children. I don't know. And so you're gonna break everything. You're gonna break the TV and make nobody else watch TV just because you're mad. And I'm like, yeah, because they want the attention. Like whatever they can do to get this attention, they're gonna do it, man.
Well, sometimes if you're not in a position to understand somebody else, you will never know the true meaning of what they're trying to do. That's why it's probably not seem clear to that person, you know.
That's 100% true.
But you know, the right will always exist. Things like that will always exist because it's in our community, it's in our home. So it's not like something that we just develop in the street. So it's just a part of us, you know.
Exactly.
Anyway, either way, you will get the result that you're looking for. So let's move on, and that's too much politics. And I can assure you guys, I really don't care about politics. It's just that it's the show, and I like to ask those questions and to see my guest reactions and the point of view, their thoughts, and how they think. And that's all. That's the only reason why I ask those questions. But this is not a politics show. All right. What's your net worth?
My net
Just
worth?
in general. You don't have to give it. You know.
I don't know.
You don't know. You need to do some research, okay?
I know. How do I find that? Yeah.
Well, your net worth is based on what you earn, what you own.
Okay.
Your cars, your house, your money you have in the bank, and it's all your assets, all your big belongings. You know,
Okay.
and you can put all together, and then you get the average of what you got.
Okay.
You know.
All right, thank you.
So, what about your credit score? Is it low, okay, or good?
Right now, I have.
You don't have to give me a number.
Oh, okay,
Just
okay.
low,
Well,
say it's low or okay.
It's in the 700s. So
okay, so it's almost it's
almost,
okay and good.
Yeah, it's between okay and good. Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
That's awesome. But I mean,
hopefully I have my house this year.
Yeah, hopefully you do,
hopefully.
and I'll help you, my prayer, bro. That's a big thing, and I just wanna let the audience know that we have good people out there, and it's not only that. Don't just see the bad side. We're trying to make it. We're trying to do something good, and this is what this show is all about. We're trying to prove to you that we don't have to be billionaires or to be heard or to know that we exist. We in Basnic Show, just as little as we are right now, this show is going to be something bigger than it is. So this is why I started doing this, okay? And that's why I'm not trying to get a famous actor or whatever, somebody that's already on top. I'm starting in the bottom and up. So I want you to know these people has more value than anybody that has a tremendous amount of money. So that's why I do it that way, okay?
And I have so much faith in this show, man.
Yeah,
how long has it been? Like a year now?
It's been a year now. Man. I tried everything, bro. Thank you. And I think you can see when I started and where I'm at right now.
Yeah, exactly. Now you have guests on the show and everything.
Man, I'm telling you. It's life, man. In life, you have to learn how to grow, you know? So
that's why you had Mickey on the show.
Yeah, Mickey it's my boy, man. And I can't wait to have another interview with Mickey. So, all right. So we're gonna keep moving on. I have 4 stars right now. Okay, one of them you will have the opportunity. All of them you will have the opportunity to start something. One of them you would choose not to do anything at all. One you would choose to one night stand.
Okay.
And one you would choose maybe you have a kid with or live with for quite a while, but definitely you would not marry that person.
Okay.
And then one you would start a life with. You would have kids and you would marry and whatever.
Okay.
All right. The first name is Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and who else? Cardi B and Lady Gaga.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
Wow. I couldn't see myself with Cardi B. I couldn't see myself with Nicki Minaj.
Okay, Cardi B is going to be what? Cardi B going to be
whatever the lease is.
Okay, so you would not even start nothing with.
Hold on. Cardi B, I definitely wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have any kind of whatever the lowest relationship that I can have with her.
Not even one night stand?
What was lower than a one night stand?
Oh, nothing. Like it's just like I don't like you. You know, you're not my type. So Cardi B is not your type.
Cardi B is not my type.
Okay, so you have 3. One would be like one night stand. Okay, let's say you went to
all right. Let's say this. Yeah, Cardi B is not my type. She's a stripper. Yeah, I ain't into those.
Okay,
I'm sorry. No offense to anyone.
Cardi B, you're not his type. Okay, if you're listening.
Nicki Minaj would be the one night stand.
One night stand. Nicki Minaj, you got one night stand on the for you.
So the last 2 would be Lady Gaga or Rihanna. Now I love my African princesses.
Okay.
I love my African queens. I love them. So Lady Gaga, I love Lady Gaga too. I love Lady Gaga. Like I did not appreciate Lady Gaga when she first came out. I didn't like her. Yeah. I didn't like her style.
I think a lot of people did. Yeah.
You know, I didn't. Like she was just too.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like
nobody understand where she was going.
Exactly.
It was different. And then after that, she like introduced herself and like you appreciate it more.
Man, and she's a musician.
I know.
Bro.
She's awesome, man. I like her.
Man, like her. Okay, so what got me was when she did a new, when I was in college, she did an album with old jazz standards. She did a new album with all jazz standards on the album. And I can't remember who she did it with. I don't want to lie to y'all. I feel like it was a trumpet player, but I can't remember. I don't want to lie to y'all. But she did a jazz album Strictly Jazz, and man, that right there changed my perspective on her. Definitely. And then I saw her in the American Horror Stories, and just her acting skills, and just her, man, I loved it. I loved it.
So, which one would she be? The one that you start your family with, or
no? Because I love my African queens. Like, I love my African queens. Right.
So Lady Gaga, you would live with.
Yeah, I would
live
with.
She would probably get her pregnant.
Yes,
you would have your kids and stuff, but you wouldn't marry.
No.
So this is exactly why I put it that way. Yeah.
Rihanna, I would have a family with. Even though she's kind of out there for me, but she is the one that was.
I got you.
My ideal, to be honest, is Rihanna's my girlfriend. Erykah Badu.
Okay.
Is my no. Rihanna's my baby mama. Erykah Badu is my girlfriend, and Lauryn Hill is my wife.
Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
Lauryn, I know her. The actor. She's not a singer, right?
Huh?
Actor.
Lauryn Hill's a singer.
Singer?
Lauryn Hill. Okay. She was with the Fugees with Wyclef.
Okay, I got you.
Wyclef.
All right.
Wyclef Jean.
Sounds good, man.
That was funny that you said Rihanna though, so I was like, dang, hold on.
I know. All right. So my next question is: can you say no to sex?
Yes. I think I have a good willpower. Yeah.
You have a good power.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Sounds good.
Because I feel like, what woman wants to be with a man who is going to be so easily encouraged by sex from another woman? You know what I mean? Like, you can easily just go astray, and no woman wants that.
You're absolutely right.
I think that it also shows that you have power. Like,
exactly.
Like, if you, I mean, I don't know if we could be talking about this or not, but like, I feel like when you are around a woman, they have, some of them have a lot of sexual intentions, you know? Maybe they want this from you. Even if they're testing you, you know, so to speak, even if they're doing it just to see if they can test you. Yeah, they might do it, they might have sex with you, but they're doing it for a test, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you can withstand it, and you can just not be so sexually oriented with them, I feel like they will even want you even more. I feel like there's something there because you have power, you know?
You said it right. Some men can't say no to sex. And I think that if you cannot say no to sex, it's because you're not fully grown yet. You know what I'm saying? You're missing something, you're lacking something, and you need to go find it. And hey, it's not bad for you if you can't say no to sex. It's not something that's bad. It's just that you're not in that level yet. It's like you have to go to that level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not something that like it's just out of the blue, like you used to, like girls, 2 or 3 girls, and then all of a sudden you're just gonna be like a beautiful woman walking your way, and then you're gonna be like, hey, you know what? She's gonna throw herself at you, and then for you to say no, it's just not just coming out of the blue like that. All right. So, and with that being said, how many girls do you think a man should have?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
some men think that a man should be able to get the majority of women that you can.
Oh man,
you can possess.
To me personally, I mean. Me personally, I would tell you that if you are into that kind of thing, have as many women that you can sustain, that you can keep up with. Me, I can only keep up with one.
Exactly.
One woman is enough for me. Like, I don't even understand how other men have more than one woman. Like, one woman is enough. Like,
you're absolutely right.
Like,
all right. So I know. So this show's gonna go. It's about to end. We're not gonna go further.
Okay,
you gotta come back for another show. You know why? We're not gonna say on the TV. I mean, in front of us right now. But before we go, your music is so powerful. It's so beautiful, man. I would like for you. Do you wanna play another?
Oh yeah, I'll play another.
You don't have to play the whole song, but at least for like 2 minutes. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll ask you a few more questions, and then so we can start from there.
Yeah, let me
but awesome. Anyway, man, thank you so much for accepting to come to the show, and it means a lot to me.
Thank you.
You only see this in Basnic Show, and if this is your first time watching this show, I'm gonna ask you 3 things that I would like you to do for me. Is make sure you subscribe to that channel and comment if you want to, and give us that like if you think that what we're doing is positive. And we're just trying to bring out the new things, and I'm just trying to prove to you guys, it doesn't matter who you are. You can start something. You can make something. All right, out of nothing. So this show, I make it out of nothing, and it's all just a dream or whatever you want to call it. And just go ahead and do it. You can do it too. All right.
Yeah, I'll play a pop song.
Pop, go ahead. Whatever you want, bro. Cause I love it.
With school back in session, Xfinity is committed to helping kids continue to learn no matter where they are.
We're providing.
I like it. That's awesome, man. Thank you, man. I like it. Man, you good, bro. You know, I don't know how to play one instrument.
You can sing. I know you play some drums or something. Now. How you gonna have all that Haitian culture if you don't know how to play those drums?
Man, I used to. That was my favorite instrument to play. Was the drums, you know, in church and stuff. But when I grew up, and now, if I had the opportunity to learn one, you know, instrument, would be the piano.
Piano, yeah.
And I try to teach myself because I don't have time, to be honest with you. If I have time, I would go to school trying to play the piano, even still. But it's still my dream. It's still one thing that I want to accomplish before, you know, I pass away. But hey, I would love to play an instrument just like you just did, man. But I can't. Anyway, that's coming up.
Do it, man. Do it.
Are you a controlling man?
I wouldn't say I'm a controlling man at all, you know, and I think that I feel that if a person has to be controlling, that they have security issues.
Yeah.
I feel that, you know, especially with my wife, like, I do not try to control anything. We work as a team, you know.
That's how it should be.
We have free will. Like, I let her, we practice free will, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, baby, you do your thing, I do my thing. As long as we're honest with each other.
Exactly.
As long as we're honest with each other, and that's what really counts. That's what really matters. And sometimes I feel like we're a bit, she tells me that sometimes I'm a bit too honest. And I'm like, babe, I want you to know because I don't want there to be any surprises. Exactly. I don't want there to be any surprises or anything.
That's good job, Malcolm. Malcolm. And I also call you. You say your name is Malcolm. I never know your last name because I always when I call you Malcolm X. Yeah. I don't know, you know, but you have a brother that's named X, right?
X, yeah. You call him X. His name is Xavier.
But I like to call you Malcolm X. So
that's fine.
But yeah. Tell us something about that we should know about you that we don't know. Like I didn't ask you.
Okay, so let me see. I don't want to say I'm into politics, but I am into when I say politics, I don't when I say politics, I don't mean like as far as people governing us.
Okay.
When I say politics, I mean like our lives. Like this is you know, we have to like throw that word politics out. And we have to think about our lives because a lot of things that, a lot of these rules and a lot of these laws that are passed, they affect our lives immediately, like directly. And we could get confused by this word politics and think about, you know, things being political, and you know, it could cause us not to go vote in things. You know, I'm big into not necessarily voting for a person, but voting for the idea of the amendments, you know, the laws and things that are passed. You know, say if you don't want to vote for nobody, if you don't want to vote for anybody, leave that part blank. Period. Yep. But as far as like like last time we voted, we had the amendment 4 to restore the felons' right to vote in Florida. Yeah. And that was one of the things that that I was proud of to go out and do. Okay. And with my job being the job that I'm in, we're very into legislation because I work in the shipping industry, imports and export. Yeah. And that really, we are labor workers. Okay. And for a place to, we just have to make sure that we have in my eyes, in my position, we have to make sure that we have laws that help labor
exactly.
intense workers, you know, because a lot of places are trying to de-unionize labor workers. They want us to work for nothing. They want us to work for peanuts.
You're absolutely right. And it's also important that you make sure your voice got heard.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. It's really important. Don't let people to choose for you. You have to choose your own destiny, because when people choose for you, they give you what they want, and which is poverty.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, you could.
So the thing that I learned was, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Exactly.
And that's really what it is. You know what I mean? I had to learn that. I learned that. If you're not at the table,
you're on the menu.
You on the menu, and that's real deal. Right. Like, seriously.
You know, don't let people decide your future. Your future is in your own two hands. You create it. You make it what you want it to be. All right. Stop letting people choose for you. Go out there, vote. Doesn't matter what you believe in or whatever. Practice your own right. This is a right that you have, that not everybody that has that right. And if you do have it, do something good with it. All right. So one last question that I have for you before we make it into this show, and I know this show, I want to continue, but it's too short. You already know why, but you gotta come back and play.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Don't worry about that. I'll be back. I'm sorry.
All right. One of the things that one thing that you will never do in your life.
One thing that I would never do in my life is I would never abuse women or children. I have a big problem of taking advantage of people, or people being taken advantage of.
Gotcha.
I feel like maybe sometimes, maybe at the moment I may be too busy sometimes, but I feel like I don't want to be a disservice to anybody in my community, anybody in my immediate community, or even if I see someone who's going astray, who could go astray. I don't want to do myself a disservice and not try to help.
Gotcha.
I'm a person that love helping people. Like, that's what I find joy in.
I know, bro. Me too. I think that's the reason why we're in the same circle.
I think so too.
You know.
And I feel like that. I mean, I don't want to call it my downfall, but I feel like that's kind of the thing that I care too much about people. I care too much about helping people and trying to better things. So sometimes I feel like I spend too much time in that area than bettering myself. But I don't feel like it's a bad thing to want to help people, because I feel like I get back what I get in. And I've been blessed. I've been blessed all my life, man. All my life I've been blessed, bro. Like, people give me things. Yesterday, I took my saxophone to get serviced yesterday, and the lady at the place gave me 2 mouthpieces.
Nice,
bro. They are both $100 a piece. One was $188 and the other one was $100.
That's awesome.
A piece, and she gave them to me.
When that's what happens when you do good. You get good back, right? You're absolutely right. You get what you planted. That's what you get back.
Exactly. You reap what you sow.
Exactly. That's awesome. 2 questions that you have the opportunity to ask me. 2 questions.
Man, I don't know if it's too personal, man.
Go ahead. If it's too personal, like I said, the rules apply to me too. I will answer. I will not answer.
My thing is okay. So when did you come to America?
Yeah, that's not too personal. I came to America.
Well, I'm asking you that because
okay. In 2003. That's
2003.
Yeah.
That's right. You came like 7 years before I met you. I think it was like 7 years.
It's something like that. Yeah, 6, 7 years. Yeah, 2010. Yeah.
Okay, so how was it? I love cultures, right? I love culture. You know me, you know my boulez, I said.
Exactly.
So I love to learn about different cultures, right? So my thing is what is it like transitioning? You were an adult when you came to America, pretty much.
Pretty much. I was like 17 at high school, 16, 17.
So how was it the transition from a strictly Creole, a strictly country that spoke a whole different language, no English or anything, to come over here? Like, that is my biggest thing about people.
It was okay, and the hardest part of it was me going to high school and not knowing the language and riding the bus. Man, it was tough, and a lot of Haitian parents. Oh man, people make fun of you, and you're not wearing the right shoes. Your clothes, and then they see you as you just come from somewhere they can't even imagine. Dude, I'm telling you.
Hey, children are cruel, man. Children are cruel,
like they say, they call it bully.
Yeah, bully.
Dude, it's like you're getting bullied. you know, man, that was the toughest thing transitioning into, you know, the American culture. It's just being in high school, you know, and it was really tough in riding the bus. And one of the things that it was so bad, bro. The first thing that when I get a job, when I had my first job, the first thing that I did is buy my own car so that I couldn't, when I go to school now, I have my own car so that I wouldn't have to ride the bus. It was that bad, bro. It was that bad. It was bad. You know, and even my friend, even your Haitian friends that was there before you, they make fun of you.
Yeah, of course. Because they feel like they better now.
They better.
But it's not like we bought our own clothes, we didn't buy our own nothing. Our parents bought this stuff for us.
You know, but it's crazy, man. And I remember, I was so anxious. I wanted to speak English so bad, bro. Like I wouldn't care if I was saying the bad things, like the words would not coming out of my mouth right. I would just spit it out, and they would make fun of me all the time. I remember one time my teacher was like, he went to one of them. My English teacher was like, she got so mad at them for laughing at me trying to speak because what I'm saying, not even one of them can even say it. They're too scared to even say it. But me, I wasn't scared. I'm trying to learn, and then she got so mad. She yelled at them, like she got so upset. I'm like, wow, and then she like stood up for me. I'm like, that makes me feel really good, bro. And that's giving me the courage to keep going into learning and stuff. It was amazing. But anyway, you got one more. That's it. I know you love it, man.
That's really what I really want to know. Like, seriously, how difficult was the English language?
It was, man. Learning English was really hard, man.
Because I try to learn other languages. Like,
what would be your if you have the opportunity to learn one language, what would it be?
Man, right now? Oh, man. So I've been practicing my French, I've been practicing my Creole, and I've been practicing my Spanish. But
choose one.
One that I want to learn is Indian, like an Indian language. It's called Tamil. Tamil. I love Tamil. I like the way how it's written. Like I can say, hello, how are you? Like Ningal Ipiri Irikaringe. That means hello, how are you? But the way that it's written compared to how it's said, oh my God, it's like totally different. It's just very interesting to me. That's awesome. So I want to learn.
All right. You don't have any other question? If you don't, I don't want you to do it. No,
next time I will be better prepared. I'll be very, very better prepared.
You got it. But anyway, we in the end of this show. You can take us away with another music.
All right.
You don't have to play the whole thing, but anyway. But that was it, guys. It was our friends Malcolm X and Baznik show, and like you know it. He's gonna take us away with another show. Like I said, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you did like it, and comment about the down below and let us know how we did. Okay. And this show was for you. Anyway, it's Malcolm X again. Malcolm X, before you start, can you say this in Creole? Bonjour, bon après-midi. No, bonjour, bon après-midi, bonsoir.
Bonjour,
Bon après-midi.
Bon après-midi. Bon après-midi.
No, bon après.
Bon après.
Midi.
Oh, midi. Bon après midi.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Okay.
Good morning. No, hello.
No, that means good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good evening.
Okay.
That's what it means. That's my slang of starting.
I always wonder what you say. I know good morning, but I didn't know how you say good afternoon.
Good morning. Bon après-midi.
Bon
après-midi.
Midi. Bon après-midi.
It's like bon après.
Après.
Midi.
Midi.
Yeah.
Like midday.
Midday, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Bon après-midi. And that's my saying. And then, but you gotta say it though. This is Aznik Belize and Baznik show.
This is the
hold on. Let's say it in Creole.
Right.
Bonjour, bon après-midi, bonsoir.
Bonjour, bon après-midi, bonsoir.
Bon après-midi. I forgot how I say it.
He's nervous.
I even forgot how I say my own thing.
You see this curvy thing too? This sexy curvy thing.
Anyway, next time you'll say it for the audience, man. Anyway, guys, we just wanna make you laugh, okay? Anyway, go ahead, man. Thank you so much for being here, bro.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Alrighty. Awesome, man.